Ladies and gentlemen, it really feels like 2024 was the year of this low ticket info MRR craze, but we'll get into some of my opinions of that model later on. But many people call me the course seller final boss, which I think they say it in a way that they think I'm going to be offended. Like, thank you very much that I'm the best in the world at what I do. I take that very much as a compliment. So as a challenge to myself, I thought that I would actually explore the low ticket info MRR model. I knew that it's not the best way to do things. I've always said that info and MRR, they don't really go together. And the main reason why is simply because when people are buying info, they're buying info products, whether that's a coaching offer, high ticket, low ticket, it doesn't matter. The reason people are buying is because they have a problem and they see your info product as the solution to a problem. Now, 90% of the value comes in the first month, and that's really the truth of it. You will be pissed off. Imagine if you bought a book today and then 6 months, 9 months later, they're still trying to charge you. And you're like, well, no, I bought it because I wanted an outcome. I bought the book, I got the information. Why are you still trying to charge me? And that's kind of the whole issue with info and MR. Now, I know some people say, oh yeah, but you know, community, people love to be part of communities. To be honest, I haven't really found that to be the case, or I haven't found that to be sticky enough to build something where you have retention for a year, 2 years, 3 years. But bear in mind, we're coming close to almost 8 figures banked through low ticket info MR in just the space of over a year. So even though I don't recommend it because we make a lot more money high ticket and mid ticket, and for us it's a very specific case where we have a wide audience, and that's why we were able to monetize and clean up on a lot of that audience. If that wasn't the case, I never would have even considered it for a second, because the unit economics simply don't make sense. Now, I know it's very rare that you go into a video and the person telling you is like, hey, I'm going to teach you what I did, but also just so you know, I probably don't recommend you do it. It's funny, that's actually one of the reasons our 8-figure licensed clients trust us so much, because I always tell people like, hey, I have done everything. I've tried everything. I have the systems and the processes to be a 10 out of 10 at everything, you know, low ticket, high ticket, mid ticket, short form, long form, events, live events, whatever it is, we've done it all. But just because I've done something doesn't mean that it's applicable for your situation. So with that being said, I will show you exactly, if you do want to go the low ticket MRR route, how to actually succeed in that domain. But just know there's only a small percentage of businesses I actually think it's a smart move for. So let's get into it. How I scaled Digital Launchpad to over 474,000 MRR in 50 days. Now, before we get started, let me ask you something. What is the point of having customers if they just leave after 1 month? You see, after scaling Digital Launchpad to 474,000 MRR in 50 days, I've discovered where most business owners screw up. The biggest mistake they make is they think retention is only about their product. Listen, your product is important, but here's the truth. If you want to keep customers long-term, you need to make your ecosystem addictive. And I think that's where most people went wrong. They just thought, oh, if I just slap some people in a community, or, you know, if I just have enough courses, they'll stick around. And quite frankly, that's not why, especially with that low ticket recurring info model. The name of the game, the reason why people stay is they feel like they're getting levels, ranking. They get addicted to progression, okay? And by the way, I'm not talking about some, you know, basic engagement farming strategies. It goes way beyond that. It really comes down to social engineering and engineering addiction, quite frankly. It's kind of like a video game, because when you have a subscription-based product that you have to sell people every month, you have to keep things new and engaging. And let me be completely honest with you. Low ticket subscription is the hardest business model out there, bar none. I've already said this many times. But the thing is, most people can't make it work because they don't understand what I am about to share. But before we continue, let me make something very clear. This isn't some basic advice that you're going to see gurus spilling online. This is the exact same system that allowed us to scale Digital Launchpad to almost 500,000 monthly recurring revenue in the first 50 days. And then from there, I'm not going to lie, the growth did slow down from there. It wasn't as explosive after that. And by the way, with retention rates that most business owners would dream of. So if you're making at least 250K per year with your info product and you want to know how to keep your customers hooked, grab a pen and paper and pay close attention to what I'm going to share today. I also want to make something very, very, very clear. I'm not against low ticket. I'm against low ticket recurring, thinking that, you know, you're going to have 12-month, 24-month renewal rates. That's just not the case, okay? For example, we recently sold like a low ticket $95 and then $295 VIP ticket for a live event. And it was cool because we spent $200K on ads and we brought back in $180K in ticket sales. So we basically spent $20,000 in order to have 1,300 super qualified. I mean, 50% of our audience, you know, the people that attended the event, were making more than $50,000 a month in income. Okay, so super qualified audience. And all the money we made on the back end, which was obviously where the serious money was made, all that money was just pure profit, okay? So I'm not against low ticket. By the way, I'm also not against low ticket if you sell something for 17 bucks and helps you liquidate ad cost, or you have a flow where you can acquire customers at a break even, or maybe even a slight loss, and you know your numbers, and then you have a killer sales team that's following up and upselling. Like, I'm not against those things, okay? Every business is different. You have to find the use case for yours, but it's specifically the recurring and info aspect. Those models just don't really work together in general. But if you are moving forward with that model, let me show you how to do it better than anyone else can teach you. Now, let's start off with something most people have no clue about: the psychology of addiction. You see, video games companies have mastered this. They know exactly how to keep players coming back. And I've taken the same principle and applied it to Digital Launchpad. The thing is, low ticket subscription is one of the hardest models out there because we are living in an era of what I call subscription fatigue. I mean, let me ask you this. How many subscriptions right now are you paying for that you're thinking about canceling? You've got Netflix, Spotify, gym membership, software. The truth is the average person is drowning in subscriptions that they barely use. And that's exactly why most low ticket subscription businesses fail miserably. Because to combat subscription fatigue, you have to build an ecosystem so addictive that makes canceling feel like a genuine loss. And that's exactly what I did with Digital Launchpad. Inside Digital Launchpad, I created what I call the progression system. Here's how it works. Month one, when someone joins, they start as an apprentice. Okay, that's level one, first starting point, just like a video game. They get access to elite programs and an amazing community of like-minded individuals who are all striving to make their first bit of money online. But that is only the beginning. Most companies would just stop there. They're okay with delivering the bare minimum for their customers, and then they wonder why their customers actually churn after 1 month. Here is what I do instead. I go above and beyond for my customers. I use what I call joining incentives. You see, these are powerful benefits that members get immediately when they sign up. But here is the key. These incentives must perfectly align with what your product promises. For Digital Launchpad, our core promise is helping people make their first $1,000 online. So in month one, new members don't just get access to random programs. They get immediate access to programs like Pen to Profit by my CMO Luis, The Winning Store by my good friend Jordan Welch. These aren't random bonuses. They are carefully selected resources that will directly help members make that first $1,000 milestone. I mean, think about it. In video games, what keeps people playing? You see, it's not just the game itself, it's the constant feeling of progress and achievement. That dopamine hit you get when you unlock a new character or get to the next level. And that is exactly what I replicated. There are specific milestones users need to hit to unlock the next level. And each milestone comes with its own set of challenges, perks, and status in the community. And users even get a unique custom badge with each new level. Why? Because to truly scale your subscription business, you have to put your customers first. You have to understand what it is that they want. And I've put hours into understanding my customers and putting myself in their shoes. By the way, this really reminds me of what Amazon's Jeff Bezos says. You see, he's often asked, what's going to change in the next 10 years? And then he states that people ask him that, but no one really asks him, what's not going to change in the next 10 years? And Bezos admitted that the second question is actually far more important than the first one. You see, things that never change are important because you can put so much more confidence into knowing how they will shape the future. Bezos said that it's impossible to imagine a future where Amazon customers don't want low prices and fast shipping. So he can put enormous investment and effort into those things. The reason I share this is because I took the same approach with Digital Launchpad. I thought about what would never change about my customers. They want an affordable space that gives them the best opportunity to make their first $1,000 online, the best bang for their buck. And this customer-focused approach is why I've been able to retain these customers at the level that I have. While everyone is chasing trends and the newest marketing tactics, I focus on providing value and results. And to be honest, the Digital Launchpad products are genuinely better than most people's $10,000 stuff. By the way, if you don't believe me, you can go buy Digital Launchpad. It's $37 a month. We have a 3-day, no questions asked money back guarantee. You can literally use it for 2 days if you want. And if you don't think it's worth $37, refund it. Clearly, the sort of audience I speak to on this channel, I don't speak to beginners here, all right? It's not like $37 is gonna change my life, but I'm just saying this to prove the point that genuinely, I'm saying this hand on heart. My low ticket stuff, because bear in mind, I don't teach anything inside Digital Launchpad. We just bring on the best experts in the world. My stuff for $37 is better than most people's 10K stuff. But that is not all. You know, I could sit here and say that our products are better than most people's 10K stuff and think, okay, so what, you know, no one should ever leave ever, but that's just not how it works. You have to still implement a lot of this addiction and engineering. And by the way, I know when people hear, oh, you're trying to make people addicted, is that moral? Is that ethical? Well, you're trying to make people addicted to learning. I don't think anyone gives Duolingo crap about the fact that they try to make their platform as addictive as possible. Well, yeah, it's a platform that helps people get better. So great. So if you want to make your customers stick around, you have to do the same. In fact, this was the very premise behind why I created Digital Launchpad. I wanted to build something that would have helped the version of me when I was first getting started. But in month 2, things get even more interesting. You see, in month 2, users level up from apprentice to craftsman, and no, these aren't just fancy titles, okay? Here they unlock something powerful, a direct call with a member of my 8-figure network. I mean, think about that. One conversation could change their entire life forever, okay? But I'm strategic about this. I don't just give them access to everything all at once. That would kill the addiction loop. Instead, I drip feed the value. In month 3, users get access to a bundle of lifestyle programs designed to elevate every aspect of their lives, health, relationships, style, and more. For example, they get exclusive access to the Perfect Fit, which is a styling program by my personal trainer, Jack Winslade. In month 4, they get special workshops with industry experts and monthly calls with myself. For $37 a month, DL members get something that most people would pay thousands of dollars for. Then moving on to month 6, in month 6, members actually unlock secret channels where they get exclusive access and can engage with millionaire mentors. Remember, the goal here is to help people make their first $1,000 online. And what better way to do that than by providing mentorship from people who have already done it? And by the way, we have the best coaches in the game, okay? Whether you want to get into sales, copywriting, or e-commerce, we have the best of the best there is to help make sure that our members reach their goals. Now, in month 12, members are the first to know about new programs as well as cutting edge strategies. For example, we just released a new boxing program with Tony Jeffries. He has the largest YouTube channel on earth for boxing, specifically, teaching boxing, helping people with their boxing skills, etc., etc. And in month 12, they also get mastermind access, okay? They get a chance to partake in meetups when we do it with myself or other members of my inner circle. And last year I actually met up with one of my students, Ivan, in London. And by the way, we also gave him his first ever Rolex, which he was very, very, very excited about. And by the way, you always want to make sure that you are celebrating your biggest power users. Now, in month 24, they achieve Emperor status. This is where they gain access to exclusive content that is tailored to them. With this, they also get advanced strategies, insights, and exclusive learning materials to further elevate their expertise. By the way, you see what I'm doing here? I'm not just selling information. I'm creating an entire journey, a full-on experience, an ecosystem that makes winning inevitable, because this is how you create something that members never want to leave, something that they truly want to be a part of. Now, let me show you what happens if someone doesn't want to wait 12 months to access everything. You see, for those who are looking to fast track their way to success, we've gone ahead and created something that was totally a game changer in terms of collecting more cash up front, increasing LTV, from the jump, from the get-go, and that is our yearly plan. So instead of paying $37 a month and gradually unlocking rewards, members can choose to pay $270 upfront, saving 40%, okay? So yes, we give them a 40% discount. I mean, it's crazy value. I think it works out to like 74 cents a day, like $0.75. It's literally nothing. But they pay that upfront, they get a 40% discount, and most importantly, they unlock everything straight away. They get automatically upgraded to king status. All the awards, all the programs, and all the access that normally takes 12 months to earn. And with that, they get the programs, plus monthly live calls with me personally, mentorship from our Millionaire Mentor Network, access to exclusive lifestyle content, invitation to in-person events, access to the King's Hub, no waiting, no progression, just immediate full access. And guess what? This option absolutely exploded our day one cash collected. So just so you understand our numbers, we are $37 monthly. I think we have a 12% uptake rate on the yearly, so that brings our day one cash collected to about $65 if I remember correctly. And I know our LTV is $222. So our average retention is 6 months. Bear in mind, that's people who stay for a month, that's people who stay for 14 months. And also, we've only been around for a year, so our LTV will continue to obviously climb higher and higher as time goes on, simply because more and more people are staying past that year mark. There's a lot of people now that have been rebuild the yearly plan for the second year in a row. So, there's many factors that play into it. But definitely the more cash you can collect upfront in terms of day one cash collected, the better your LTV is from the jump, your average retention is from the jump. Obviously, the easier it makes to actually spend on ads. Now, we spend pretty much no money on ads. We spend $5,000 a month or something like that on retargeting ads, barely nothing, okay? Now, some people are patient and want to enjoy the journey step by step, while others want to pay more upfront to basically just fast track their path to success. But by offering both options, I cater to both types of customers. And that is another reason we ultimately hit 474K in MRR so quickly, because I gave the most ambitious members exactly what they wanted, which is a way to skip the line. So I hope you're starting to realize just how much thought goes into creating an elite low ticket product. But there's another element to it, the social proof element. You see, the social proof element is what truly strengthens this whole system. Every time someone levels up, they get a new badge. Their name gets announced in the community when they hit significant milestones. And this creates what I call achievement FOMO. You see, when members see others progressing, getting badges, unlocking new levels, and most importantly, making their first $1,000 online, they don't want to be left behind, and it creates this exclusivity factor. You see, not everyone gets to unlock everything. You have to earn it and put in the work. The badges aren't just given, okay? They are earned, and that's what makes them truly valuable. But most people get this wrong because they try to copy this at a surface level without understanding the psychology behind it. It took me years to perfect the system with my chief product officer. When it comes to low ticket subscription, it's all about gamifying your product. So let me break down my 5 retention gamification elements. The first is progressive difficulty. You see, every level gets slightly harder, but the next level is always within reach. You don't want people waiting a year for their first reward. Progression creates a sense of achievement and ambition within the community. Second is clear milestones. Members always know exactly what they need to do in order to progress. There's no confusion or uncertainty. Third is meaningful rewards. You see, each unlock has real tangible value and not just a badge. The rewards and calls create experiences that actually help people succeed with their online career. Because remember, if your customers win, you also win. Next is community recognition. You see, our wins channel is there to celebrate every achievement and milestone. This creates social proof and motivation within the community, and it is great for testimonials. In-person meetups add an extra layer of exclusivity and recognition, like the example of me meeting up with Ivan, or for example, if I'm around the world in different cities, that we'll go for runs or we'll do activities or anything along those lines. And by the way, speaking of special access, let me tell you something else we do that most business owners would never think of implementing. Inside Digital Launchpad, we have what we call the Grand Advisors. Now, this is an exclusive group of members who get direct access to me and my team. But we don't just pick these people randomly. We select them based on three things: loyalty, how long they've been with us, and how active they are in the community. The Grand Advisors get monthly calls with my team to discuss community sentiment, product improvements, and future developments. We are literally taking feedback from people who are on the front lines, dedicated clients who understand our product back to front because they've been active in the community for a long time. They know what works, what doesn't, and what other members are saying behind the scenes. And in return, they get proximity to my team. On top of that, they get a unique GV badge that also gives them status and authority in the community. And then they also help with moderation and managing ongoing coaching calls. By the way, you'd be surprised how important it is to people to just have status. I know it might sound funny to you, but once again, going back to the video game example, in so many video games, people just want status in the video game. It's the same thing with subscription info communities. They want the ability to be in a community and have that top dog status. So really, it is a two-way street. They get exclusive access and recognition, and we get invaluable feedback that helps us continuously improve Digital Launchpad. Do you kind of see now the level of care that we put into our low ticket product? Next is exclusive access. The higher our members climb, the more exclusive benefits that they get. And this creates a sense of purpose. But here's one thing that most business owners who have communities don't even think about: data. We track everything inside DL, which is why it becomes so good at understanding retention. Put simply, we look at three things: which levels keep people engaged the most, which milestones have the highest completion rate, which rewards drive the most action. The other thing you guys need to remember is to have a 6-month average retention. And obviously, once again, as I said, that goes on because the longer the company's been around, the more you get people who've been around for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and then that extends the average LTV. 6 months in our industry specifically, which is a general broad make money online, $37 a month, super cheap, mass market. To have 6-month average retention with that kind of customer base is very, very difficult to be that wide. Now, of course, I'm sure there's some communities that are 14 months because in there it's wealthy 50-year-old moms and they build some sort of super strong community and they have physical meetup events every single week and this and that. That's very different to having tens of thousands of monthly users in a $37 a month, super broad, super mass market B2C offer. And in that space, I don't know anyone who comes close to the sort of LTV numbers that we have. Now, data tracking is crucial. It's how we consistently evolve and improve our ecosystem. But here's what most people miss: building a successful community isn't just about keeping people hooked, so that way you can selfishly just make more money as the owner. It's actually about creating a genuine transformation for your members. Like I said, every single element we built inside Digital Launchpad, from our progression system to the exclusive access, serves one clear purpose: to help our members make their first $1,000 online. And no, this isn't just talk. We back it up with dedicated coaching calls, real accountability systems, and meticulous progress tracking, because we understand that when you build an environment where success is inevitable, retention just takes care of itself. I mean, just think about it. Members who succeed stay longer. The longer they stay, the more success stories we create. The more success they achieve, the more revenue we generate. It is a win-win for everyone, and that's exactly how I scaled Digital Launchpad to $474,000 a month in just the first 50 days, with retention rates that are unheard of in our space and our specific super mass market make money online audience. And by the way, I haven't even explained one of our biggest competitive advantages yet. You see, Digital Launchpad is available as a premium mobile app on the App Store. But by the way, this isn't just some afterthought. We invested heavily into developing a seamless mobile experience for our customers. I know a lot of my customers are on the go. Sometimes they're juggling jobs, responsibilities, and their desire to build something online. They are not always sat at their desk. They might be on lunch breaks, commuting, or waiting in line somewhere. So by having a dedicated mobile app, our members can get instant notifications when someone achieves a milestone, They can watch training videos during their commute or spare time. They can connect with other members anywhere and anytime. And they can also track their progress towards their first $1,000 online and beyond. The app gives Digital Launchpad that premium feel that even high ticket products don't have, let alone low ticket products. Listen, I want to make something very clear. The easier you make it for your customers to use your product, the more they will actually use it. And the more they use it, the better the results they get. The better the results, the longer they stay. And again, it all comes down to putting your customer experience first. No one has this level of care and attention with low ticket. In fact, I never normally recommend my 8FL clients to go the low ticket route because, as I said, it's just so difficult. Like I said, it took me years and years to perfect this, because when it comes to low ticket, you're not just selling a product, you have to create an experience that is impossible for your customers to say no to, and you have to sell it to them every single month. Now, don't get me wrong, the system is key, but it only works if you also have a great product to back it up. Like I said, my low ticket product is better than most people's high ticket stuff. And that's not me being cocky, that's just a fact. Most people selling 5 or 10K courses are delivering less value than what members get for a fraction of the price. I mean, think about it. Who wouldn't want to join a community of like-minded people who are all part of the same mission and constantly helping each other succeed? And when you can do all of that in one place, it is a no-brainer. Retention becomes automatic. So now that you understand the psychology behind retention, let me be crystal clear about something. What I've shared today, my progression system, the gamification strategies, and the addiction loop are just scratching the surface of what you can do to scale your info product business. In fact, there's an entire infrastructure behind Digital Launchpad, like the email system we use to ensure our ecosystem runs seamlessly, because here's what most people simply don't understand. Retention isn't just about keeping customers, it's about building an asset that becomes stronger with time. Yes, the low ticket model is tough, and most people don't understand that they need to innovate and deliver massive value month after month. You are essentially reselling your product to your customers 12 times a year. And I think that's what really most people don't understand is with info MRR, 12 times a year, a customer is going to look at it and go, do I still need to pay for this? Now listen, if it's a Spotify or it's a Netflix or it's something critical inside their business, for example, let's say you're in the e-commerce space like Shopify, they don't really have a choice. People don't really second guess these things. But when it comes to an info product, this is where it becomes dangerous. And this is why I'm not the biggest fan of it, because 12 times a year, you have to resell. Otherwise, you're going to churn your customers. So that's why I'm not the biggest fan of it. But if you want to do it, we have the best systems in the game to actually help you out with it. So when you implement the systems I've shown you today and you build a strong personal brand, you can create an ecosystem that your customers genuinely become addicted to. Remember, most people focus way too much on product when it comes to the info subscription, which is super important, but they forget all the gamifying, the addiction side of things, like basically getting addicted to your community and leveling up in your community and learning more and getting new badges and new things and exclusive access. Like that's really the only reason people stick around. And then from there, the cool thing is they become your best marketers, telling even more people about you and expanding your ecosystem. And that is how I scaled Digital Launchpad to 474,000 MRR without needing any fancy marketing tricks. And by the way, that was all 100% organic, by the way, before we turn on retargeting ads to help it grow even further. So if you are a business owner making at least $250,000 a year and you want help implementing my retention system into your business, by the way, all of this retention stuff, it works low ticket or high ticket. So even if you've got a high ticket and you want people to have continuation and keep paying after that initial term, everything that we implement through Digital Launchpad, we also implement in the high ticket stuff, the low ticket, like it doesn't matter, okay? These systems are evergreen between whatever your price point is or whatever your offering is. And this is just like one of 100 keys to the kingdom that we give our private clients inside of my licensing program, 8-figure license. So if you want all the keys to the kingdom of how I've made almost $100 million in info in just the last 5 years, with about 75 million of that being in pure profit, I want you to go ahead and click the link below, book in a call to speak with a member of my team. There's only 3 people that work in that department. All 3 people have worked in my company for multiple years. These aren't just some random sales reps. Remember, you guys are private clients to us. You're not just random customers that we sling into a course and that's it, it's over with. We're actually working alongside you. So my team is not salesy at all. It's not a sales call. It's just a demo call. We'll show you what the program is, how you can work with us. We accept 20 clients a month and that's it, our maximum capacity. So go ahead, book in a call. If it doesn't work out, no harm, no foul. I promise you, we will leave you better than we found you, because remember, these aren't salespeople. These are people that were in other positions of the company, and then now I've brought them over as the advisors and as people that still do other things in the company, but they also speak to new potential clients of 8FL. So go ahead, book in that call below. I hope you enjoyed this. And as always, I'm watching from afar and I'm rooting for you.